Two quick questions. First question, will we see a Junior Motorsports or maybe a Spire entry for Dale Jr. in the Truck Series in North Wilkesboro next year?
I'm hoping to put together a late model stock race for that week, and I'll bring my Sundrop car back out and race with those guys. I love running our one Xfinity race for Junior Motorsports, and otherwise I've really got this new focus to try to compete my late model stock car a little bit. I used to race at a place called Florence Motor Speedway in next to Darlington in South Carolina, and I just would love to walk in there one night on a Friday or Saturday night, just unannounced, and compete, like I did when I raced there a lot in the 90s, in 94, 95. Just kind of, I know you can't relive your past, and it'll never be as great as it was back then, and you can try to make those things, happen, and they're just not ever the same, but I do want to go back and do it one more time. I always said when I got done driving Cup, I was going to cycle back down the other direction. I came from late models to Xfinity to Cup, and I was going to go out the same way, and so I'm actually surprised that that's happening, and I'm going to try to take advantage of it.
And of course, the big news silly season was Kyle Busch going to Childress. The one that caught me by surprise was bringing Brandon Jones to the 9 car. How did that come about, and what kind of orchestrated that event?
Well, we had some conversations with Brandon. I'd met Brandon in passing at the racetrack in some certain scenarios, and I like who he is as a person. I remember a particular race at Atlanta where I went up to him after the race, and I had some comments about some choices he made on the racetrack. I thought he should have won the race, and instead he chose to push his teammate. And I said, you gotta race for yourself. You gotta, it's nice you're wanting to help your teammate, but he's won a lot of races. You don't have a lot of wins. That was your win right there, that moment. You gave that up. And I'm trying to coach him a little bit. And so from that moment on, we started talking a little bit more. And then I told everybody when I raced at Martinsville that I was going, earlier this year, that I was going to drink some beer out of the beer cooler on pit road. That's kind of, after the race is over with, you have some beverages with some of the drivers or anybody else that might want to walk up. Just kind of let the adrenaline get out, right? And so he had won the race. He wins the race, has his celebration. I'm sitting there drinking beer with a couple of drivers, joking about beating and banging, we did. And he comes walking up. He had got done with all his Victor Lane stuff and come over and said, "Man, I'm gonna have a beer before I have to go to the media center." And I was like, "Great, I thought we'd get to meet, drink some beer with some of the drivers, but the winner too. What a treat for us." So he's just a really good down-to-earth guy. I think he'll be a great fit for us. And the great part about it too was, I'll end on this about Brandon. A lot of people might criticize and wonder why he fits in with us. And we go to Bristol after the announcement, and the 9 car wins with Noah, and Brandon's right on his tail across the finish line. I thought that was so cool, and kind of just answered everybody's criticism or questions about bringing him on board. I think he's a good shoe. I think anytime you're going to hire somebody, no matter what, and I think we all may feel this way if we're in this, if you ever have the opportunity to give somebody a chance, right? You know what their history is, you know what they were like at their past job, you can look at their resume, you can talk to people they worked with, and you get a good idea that this is a good qualified person. But when they come to work with me, I'm going to give them resources they've never had before. They're going to be in a different culture, not better, not worse, just different. And they're going to bring all of that information that they already know, and they're going to take all the new stuff that I can provide. And so my opinion is I can take Brandon and make him even better than he is today. And if we don't do that as a business, then we fail him. And so I think that he's a great driver and can be even better given more assets that we can provide. So I expect us to see that come to reality next year.